afternoon, South Africa. Welcome to Afternoon Express. Happy Monday. Hope you had a fabulous weekend. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. Donut had a great weekend.
I can see you got a haircut.
I know.
Awesome. So thank you for choosing to spend this lovely afternoon with us. Now, about 80 million people in the world have had a stroke, and 50 million stroke survivors live with some form of permanent disability. And with the statistics being so high, we chat to Dr Annari Van Rensburg about the seriousness of strokes and the different prevention and treatment methods available for survivors.
Yeah, and to wrap up Mental Health Awareness Month, we chat to General Manager of iGrid.com or OneGrid.com, Gary Dobkins, about the effects of too much screen time in a work environment. And on Mommy Mondays, we give tips on effective study methods for matriculants writing their final exams. I remember when it was matric time, the stress, and I'm not a good studier.
Babe, I don't even remember writing my matric exams.
Yeah,
I was so stressed. Wow.
I've forgotten the trauma.
Exactly. Plus, we're joined by two talented learners from Kensington High School, Terri-Lee Heuvel and Reece van Merwe, whose ingenuity and skills helped them to take home both first and second prize at the Junior Achievers Young Movers National Awards ceremony. I mean, these two are doing such great stuff. Yeah. They're making my high school look like I was on holiday.
No, we weren't like that at high school. We are so tremendously proud of them. And of course, you can touch base with us on our social media platforms and tell us if anyone in your life has ever been affected by a stroke. Tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the official hashtag Afternoon Express, or just send a little comment on our Facebook page.
Happy Monday. My name is Palisa Tembe, and it looks like we're having a cheesy start to our week this Monday. We have the amazing Chef Sue-Ann in the kitchen with us. And what are we cooking up today?
So we're going to be doing a 5-ingredient spag bowl mini tart. So really easy to make, absolutely Moorish. We can smell all the cheese going. And we're also going to be doing the ultimate cheese sandwich. So it's decadent. You will not be able to say no. That's about all I can tell you for now.
I can never say no to cheese, so I'm all for what's happening in the kitchen today. Now, a stroke can happen to anyone at any age, at any time, which is why we should all take up the responsibility to learn more about strokes and spread the information on the different prevention and treatments available. Today being World Stroke Day, we have Dr Annari Van Rensburg to tell us more about it.
Welcome to the show. So what exactly is it when somebody has a stroke?
So essentially, a stroke is when there's a problem with the blood supply to a part of your brain. And that part of the brain is now deprived of oxygen and nutrients, so it starts to die or infarcts. And this process happens within minutes to hours. Now, usually this is because of an obstruction in the blood vessel that supplies that part of the brain, so usually due to a blood clot, but in about 15% of cases, it can actually be due to bleeding in the brain.
Why do people confuse strokes and heart attacks?
That is a difficult question to answer because it's two completely different pathologies.
Yeah, it is two completely different things.
Or just people get tension headaches and they're like, I'm getting a stroke, I'm getting a stroke. How can people tell when they are having a stroke?
So there are a lot of symptoms of a stroke, and it essentially depends on, firstly, the part of the brain that's involved and also how big the area is that is involved. There's a little acronym that we use to teach people about the symptoms of a stroke, and it's called FAST. And essentially, it shows the three biggest signs. So the first sign is F for face drooping. So if suddenly somebody's face looks funny, or they're unable to smile with the one half of their face, or somebody gives you a drink of water and you feel the water's dribbling from the one side of your mouth, that could be a symptom. The A stands for arm weakness. So it could be arm or leg, and the degree of weakness could be anything between no movement in the arm or the leg at all to just your hand feeling a little bit clumsy, perhaps. And the third, the S, stands for a speech problem. So that can be anything from difficulty getting the words out to difficulty for people to understand you or for you to understand people. And essentially, if you experience any of these, if you experience the FAS, then it's time to get to the hospital as quickly as possible.
Wow. So that's when you know you're having a stroke.
Yes.
And then what are the effects of a stroke, and can you overcome them?
So the effects of stroke will once again depend on the part of your body involved. So in some people, we see marked disability with them unable to move any of the muscles on their one side of the body. And other people are lucky they get a milder form, or they might even recover.
Yeah, and all the time in the last when we've spoken about strokes, I think what's been most surprising for me is to find out that strokes are not age-specific.
Really?
Yeah.
So can young people get strokes as
Young
well?
people can also get strokes. So strokes more commonly occur in old people because of the risk factors that's involved in having a stroke. But young people, even children, can also have strokes. And we often see it with more rarer types of heart disease, where they are predisposed to having blood clots form, and these blood clots can shoot to the brain and cause that obstruction that we spoke about.
Are they preventable at all?
Definitely. So actually about 80% of strokes are preventable.
Okay.
So probably the most important thing that you can do is to have your blood pressure checked regularly, because hypertension or high blood pressure is a major risk factor for stroke. Also see your GP, have your sugar checked, your cholesterol checked, because that's also risk factors for having a stroke. And then at home, what you can do, things like a sedentary lifestyle, so lack of exercise, obesity, poor diet, they are all associated with having a stroke. So those are things that you can do at home that doesn't cost anything. And if you want to save money, you can even stop smoking, which will decrease your risk for both stroke and heart attacks.
Yeah.
Wow, so does your age affect how much you can recover from a stroke? Can people of a certain age recover completely from a stroke and have a normal life again?
So young people tend to recover better or deal with the disability better than older people, just because they're in generally better health. But your age is not the specific factor that will actually assist you with recovery. In terms of recovery, your best chance is actually to get to the hospital as quickly as possible. Because if you can get to the hospital in 3 hours or less, we've got specific treatment that we can give that can actually reverse the stroke.
Yeah.
So if it is caused by a blood clot, and we can confirm that on a CT scan that we'll do of your brain, then we can actually give a medication. It's called a lytic agent, or a clot-busting medication. And it actually thins your blood to try and dissolve the clot to restore blood flow to that part of your brain. And there's even a more specific type of treatment. So as a cardiologist, we treat a lot of people with heart attacks by doing an angiogram and then putting in a stent to actually open the blood vessel that is obstructed.
Yeah.
We've got similar technology for stroke, where we can actually go in and we can catch the clot. We have a little net-like device that you can remove the clot with via an incision that we make, or a special drip that we put in the groin that can actually restore blood flow to that area. So the most important thing is not age, but how quickly you can get to help.
Yeah. And often people, obviously, who have strokes, it disrupts their lives completely, but it also disrupts the lives of those around them, because they need far more care and they need to be watched all the time. So what advice would you give to people who have to look after somebody who's had a stroke?
Probably the most important thing is to get support for the victim of the stroke, and also for the family members who have to deal with the victim of the stroke. Because especially for a spouse, it can be an all-consuming job to now take care of the spouse who had the stroke. So there are support groups. Social media is, of course, wonderful to actually connect with people in the comfort of your own home. But you can also find a list of support groups on the Heart and Stroke Foundation website, or you can speak to your local doctor or your rehabilitation centre to get into contact with people. But emotional support as well as physical support is very important for the sufferer or the victim of the stroke.
Wow. So if you guys out there want any more info on what we've been talking about here today, it is on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. Thank you so much for joining us and educating us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Critical information today, specifically being World Stroke Day. Now, stay right there, because after the break, we head straight to the kitchen, where we'll be making the tastiest mini spaghetti bolognese baked tarts. Plus, we chat about the negative mental effects too much screen time can have at work with Gary Dobkins.
Get ready. The face of cybercrime is changing, and so are we. We are smarter. We take charge. We are in control. We are brave, innovative, everywhere. We are Sabric.
Our guests on Afternoon Express fly domestically with Mango. Enjoy outstanding service, online check-in and seat selection. With the widest booking and payment options, Mango is the only airline globally to accept store charge cards as a means of payment. Fly in comfort with ergonomically efficient seats for more legroom aboard a fleet of new generation Boeing 737-800 aircraft. Join the guests of Afternoon Express and fly Mango.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express on this Monday, and thank you for choosing us. Today we take a classic and we give it a mini makeover, adding extra flavor and convenience. We'll be preparing a mini spag bowl tart using spaghetti bolognese that we purchased from the Woolies Daily Difference catalogue. Let's get cooking. Sue-Ann, you have added all my favorites.
Yes, I've kept it simple, but there's good stuff in here. So I'm assuming you are a spag bowl fan.
I'm a spag bowl kind of girl.
And what I love about this, it's really, really simple to prepare.
Yeah.
Obviously, also on special, so great on the pocket as well. So easy for dinner, for the kids, dinner for yourselves, and great for lunch for them for the next day too. As leftovers.
Love that.
So we said it's only 5 ingredients that you need. So we're going to start off with some extra bechamel sauce because we like to keep it all creamy.
And I love that Woolies has made it so easy for us.
They've made it so easy.
They've got the sauce already pre-made, pre-packed, and delivered straight to our tummies. I can't wait.
And then they've also got obviously your spag bowl, which has been made. So I'm going to get that in there.
I really want to dive in.
I know. We're going to get there, babe, because it is so quick.
Ooh, it looks so good.
And you give this a good mix, and then we just literally add some flour to this. And what that does is, whilst this is baking, it's just going to bind all of those ingredients together.
Whilst you're binding our ingredients together, if you want the link to this recipe and ingredients list, SMS the keyword EAT to 33650.
And then I think the favourite part, and the part that you mentioned in the beginning, obviously a whole bunch of extra cheesy goodness is going to go into this.
Yeah, I was going to say, make sure you get all the cheese.
I know. I was like, I'm not going to use half the cheese. I'm going to use all of the cheese. I can see you. I can feel it.
Yeah, I was definitely being a supervisor in the kitchen, making sure that every single strain of cheese is
going
in that
into
bowl.
this. And then I obviously, typical with Italian cooking, and I always like to add a little bit of green. I think it adds that bite. So I'm going to add some basil leaves, which will literally just tear straight into this, and obviously keep the rest for garnishing when we're done.
I mean, I grew up knowing that you also eat with your eyes.
You do eat with your eyes.
So it's got to look pretty too.
It's got to look pretty.
It's got to look pretty. I love that.
So I'm just going to go in kind of pretty much just like that. Give it another mix.
I love the smell of basil.
I know, this is all already smelling good, and it's because we've obviously got some that have been done already, so we'll show you that. And then, simple, we're going to grease your muffin tin, spoon in your spag bowl, and that's going to go into oven 180 degrees for 20 minutes until they're all beautifully crisp and golden.
And ready for Pali to eat.
Ready for you to eat. But if you don't manage to make your way through this whole tray today, my love, what's really great about these as well, also perfect to freeze. So they'll freeze really, really well.
And it won't make the spaghetti soggy when you have to defrost and enjoy?
Absolutely not. So because you've got all that cheese and it's crisped up, you can choose to let it defrost naturally, and then you can pop it back in the oven to crisp. And then, as we say, this is what it's going to look like when it's done. So we've got cheesy, crispy bits on the outside.
I love that.
Just ready to go.
Sue-Ann, one day you have to take some basil and teach me how to make a pesto.
Okay, I'll teach you how to make a pesto. In fact, there's actually going to be one coming up a little bit later, so I'm going to talk. Hey, it's a slightly different one, but look at you.
I'm already ahead of the curve. I can't wait. Guys, remember, viewers, you have to SMS the keyword EAT to 33650 if you would like the ingredients list and link to the recipe sent straight to your device.
Now, when it comes to technology, especially new technology, it's only natural that we worry how it could affect our children. And after all, their brains are still developing, and it's hard to say with any certainty how our rapidly changing world might impact them. But while we frequently fret over our kids, we give far too little thought to ourselves.
Now, while the adult brain might not be developing at the same as those of our children, we are nevertheless affected by technology. In fact, there's increasing evidence that adult brains are a whole lot more adaptable than we might give them credit for, due to a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. So the habits we adopt every day could be having a much more profound effect on us than we realize. So we're joined today by Gary Dobkins, the general manager at onegrid.com. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
I mean, we're going to be doing this interview now, but I'm blushing and I can't even look you in the eye because I am addicted to my screen.
Right.
It's a problem.
More than 14 hours a day?
Oh, no, is that... Oh, then I'm fine. Do people really spend more than 14 hours a day?
Can I expose you? Can I expose her? Jeannie's finger has actually bent out of shape, and just this index, the little baby finger,
From holding my phone.
holding her phone.
Yeah. Check. It's actually got a whole dent in there from holding it like that and scrolling. But I don't do 14 hours a day.
And you check your mails every 10 minutes?
Yeah.
And you probably spend 2 hours locking and unlocking your phone every day?
Oh, probably. Making me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, eh?
Okay, so how
And
many...
we don't even work with screens.
No, we don't. Well, we are
on screen, but we don't work with screens.
How many hours a day do you think your average work person spends?
We're looking at a screen upward of 14 hours a day, as an average. You know, whether it's the phone, whether it's the computer screen, whether it's the TV, whether it's the, the tablets. These are part of our lives, and unfortunately, they are addictive. That's the nature of the beast, and we.
And will it
glued to these things.
Do you think it's the same as being addicted to drugs or sex or alcohol or cigarettes? The same thing?
It's exactly the same. So technology is designed to be addictive. You know, the apps we use, the things we do. There's a whole bunch of clever guys out there who make these things very easy to use, and they make it so you always have to have them with you. You always want to be looking at the next news article. You want to be jumping here, jumping there, and it's the same brain chemistry as any addictive dependency that you have.
They actually make it so we need it.
Yep.
Because we constantly need information. Like I need to know when my yoga class is after this, and I need to check my app for the yoga app. So, I mean, when we talk a lot about how it affects children, but also just rounding off Mental Health Awareness Month and a lot of talk around that, how does it affect people who, let's say, are susceptible to mental illness or mood swings
and addiction.
or addiction, or does it affect everybody the same way?
Yeah, so I'm not going to go how it affects people, because I'm not qualified for that, but it does affect us. There's obviously the physical impacts. You're slouching, you're in one place for 8 hours a day, and there's wrist strain, eye strain, but it goes much deeper than that. It affects your brain chemistry. The blue light that's been bombarded at you, that's a light you should be waking up with, not that you should be going to sleep at night with. It affects depression. We're in a world that we're connected, but we're feeling more disconnected and more lonely than ever before, because this is our world, and it affects your stress, your sleep patterns. It is an occupational hazard. It's a real thing in the work world today.
I even have an app to go to sleep to.
Really?
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I'm an addict.
You're dependent.
Yeah.
So with people who do have to sit in front of a screen all day, what other precautions can they put in place to actually lessen the effects of screen time?
So this is something you have to watch, and the practices are simple. It's breaking addiction that's not so simple. So it's the simple things. It's every 20 minutes, stand up, walk around, drink some water, have a breath. The two fundamentals of life is air and water. And simple things as well, like don't work sitting down. Put a chicken crate in your desk and work standing up. If you work for 3 hours standing up a day, there's 180 calories. There's a slice of pizza for you in the evening. That's
I
guilt-free.
think we should do our interview standing up from nowadays.
Yeah. Vary your work activities. Don't spend all day behind a screen. Get up occasionally. Being in a workplace means you're working with other people. You're working with teams. And that interactivity, the collaboration, generating energy off each other, that breaks the daily routine of staring at a screen all day, and it keeps you more focused, and allows you to be better at problem solving, at being creative, and addressing the problems that you might be having.
I really hope that the world does do a turnaround away from technology, because if you just look everywhere, everybody's always on their phones. So when you go to restaurants, instead of people talking to each other nowadays, they're on their phones. People don't need to date and court others anymore, because they just need to swipe left and swipe right. Yeah, like we really do need to stop being so online.
Yeah.
And when it comes to children, I mean, we can't be draconian as parents and say our children can't have screen time at all, because this is the world they live in now. What is an adequate time for a child to spend in front of a screen a week?
Well, they're saying kids up to 5 years, they shouldn't be looking at any screens. Remember TVs came out, and remember the TV trays? And all the family sat around watching TV on the TV trays. We said, stop that, have a meal together. It's the same principle today. But put away the cells when you're having the family meal. Don't take your phone to bed. Phone belongs downstairs, charge it downstairs, use an alarm clock. That blue light reduces melatonin, which allows you to sleep. So it's the same. If you have don't have a cup of coffee 2 hours before bedtime, don't look at your phone 2 hours before bedtime. But it's an addiction, which you have to break. Yeah.
There was an interview where all of the tech experts and the leaders in tech in Silicon Valley don't let their children have any screens.
At all.
At all. And they are the people who would know most about it.
That's interesting.
Shame. Bonnie's poor kids are going to shout at me now because they're not going to get any iPads
Well,
anymore.
I'm on the opposite end of the scale. Our children are not allowed any screen time unless it's a weekend. And if it's a weekend, they're allowed screen time. They're doing something like mathletics or that spelling bee thing. I'm heart strict. I'm a tiger mom. I'm a tiger mom. I put myself out there.
I think it's very impressive, And the thing is, use technology to help you counteract the negative effects of technology. There's a ton of apps out there that help you have the disciplines of limiting the screen time that you spend.
Oh, like what?
Meditation.
So there's a very clever app that says, okay, you set the limits on how much you want to spend time on the app, and you register with this company, and if you break your own limits, you pay them online. So it penalises you.
No,
so
that's going to cost me way too much.
So there are clever things like this. And in running a tech company, it's even more of an issue with the guys who are their job is to sit behind screens all day, whether it's customer support or software development. And so we've got to have those disciplines to create a healthy working environment. It's crucial.
The guys who invented that app that you've got to pay them if you're over, they must be laughing all the way to the bank. What a good Why didn't I think of that? Thank you so much for being
Absolute
here.
pleasure.
Great
Thank you.
interview.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeannie, I'm also guilty as charged. It's terrible, I know. Now, after the break, we're joined by two gifted learners from Kensington High School who took home both first and second prize at the Junior Achievers Young Movers National Awards ceremony. Also, how gorgeous is my Man Crush Monday Baxter?
This coming Thursday on Winner Home, it's part 2 of the Master Bedroom Challenge. Follow all the drama in the final moments as the design duos complete one of the most important spaces in the apartment. Will they master the master bedroom, or will they get caught napping at the deadline?
Oh, my word.
I know, right?
Only the judges can decide their fate. Catch it all on Winner Home Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3, with a repeat on Saturdays at 3 p.m. The stage is yours. Winner Home, proudly brought to you by Capitec and Private Property, with Samsung products designed for your connected lifestyle. Grand Prize Luxury Penthouse Apartment by Bowen Properties.
Create a stir this summer with Nola Mayonnaise and Afternoon Express. Every Thursday, the lovely Luciam Tiane and the lazy Makoti join us in the loft to create a stir and show us how to add a creamy twist to your favorite dishes. When you SMS NOLA to 33650 for the week's recipe, you're also entered into the grand prize draw to win an LG InstaView fridge worth 35,000 Rand. Winning has never tasted so good.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, she created a watch that can monitor your health, such as your glucose levels for diabetics. He created an armband that links to an app on your phone and alerts parents if their child strays too far.
I need that. I just need that in
I
my
want
house.
both
even.
of them.
Yeah. These inventions earned Terri-Lee Heuvel and Reece van der Merwe first and second place at the National Junior Achievers South Africa Young Movers competition. It's safe to say that the future is in good hands.
Wow, you guys are amazing. And welcome to the show to you as well. So you must be inspiring these young minds constantly, because it's unheard of for two children to achieve this, to come from the same school. Hey?
That is true. I'm very passionate about developing young people. I really get very excited when I see that coming out. So when we start the program, normally I do identify that one's going to be a manager, that one's going to be a general manager. So as part of the Junior Achievement Program, we develop entrepreneurs and we try to get them to think out of the box, and that's exactly what happened with Terri and Reece.
So, and what is the first brief? That they've got to invent something, or do they have to work together as a group? And what is the goal? What is their brief initially?
The brief that they get originally is that they need to come up with an innovative product, and it's their own. That's why it's a solo thing. They're part of a company as a whole, and they run a full-on company with management and all the drama of HR. Reece was the financial manager, and he still owes me things. So,
you know, I remember being part of Young Achievers, and we were making basic things. Hey, we were making lip ices and candles. And, I mean, this is like me. I'm giving away my age. But
this is why you're a TV presenter, not Elon Musk.
The whole group was making the candles. But what did you first think when you heard about this competition and looked at the task that was ahead of you?
Okay, so like me personally, I try to take and grasp every opportunity that comes my way, and you know, like I make the best of it. So when I heard of this competition, I heard like we're gonna fly, we're gonna live in a hotel, and immediately like that got me started. But like on a serious note, like I always try to do my best, and you know, to try my best. So for me, I saw that there were lots of people disappearing within South Africa and the world as a whole on a daily basis. And also, like, that's a scary phenomenon. Sure. So, like, I came up with the parental control system, and what that does is you can set the app. It comes with an app in a wristband, so you set the app so if your child exceeds a certain distance from you, it will alert you immediately, and then you are then able to counter that as soon as possible.
Can I set my car keys as well?
So can you set the parameters where you know they're supposed to be? Like I know if he's at school, then he's in that area, and if he's at his friend's house, he's in that area.
Definitely.
And if they leave those areas, then it will alert me as soon as possible.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And then also, like, the wristband also has a little panic button on it. So, like, for example, if your child is at the school and he, you know, sees any suspicious behavior, whatever, he will, like, press the panic button, and it would able
this has to go into production. You're going to be so rich.
I'm telling you, bro. Like,
what? And then it'll call the cops and everything. Whatever helps you call the cops.
No, so like it will alert you immediately, and then you would then, you know, react as soon as possible. Yeah.
Wow. Incredible. Now tell me about the one that you did.
Well, first of all, the reason why I specifically thought about this product, I didn't just think worldwide, but I thought in my own family, in my home. Because quite around me, there's quite a lot of people, my family members, that are really sick, that need help, and that instead of going always to hospital or actually needing to prick themselves all the time, I thought that rather invent a wristband or try and make something that will make their lives easier, not just for them, but for everyone else that actually needs it, especially those for the poor ones that, for example, doesn't have enough money to go for insulins or to keep them or keep monitoring them, their blood and their sugar all the time. So what my wristband can do is, it's a three-based wristband. So it indicates your blood levels, your sugar levels, and it shows once your body goes into tension. So for example, you're out of your comfort zone or something, you just don't feel yourself, then that wristband would indicate that your body is not right. And if your sugar is too high or too low, that beep will go off and the red light will go off, showing you, okay, your body is not right, and it will actually show you your levels. So for me personally, it was a personal experience.
That's amazing.
I'm
so
so
what is
blown
the
away.
process now?
I'm
So
so
you've
proud of you
invented
guys.
this, and is it now in manufacturing process?
Not as yet.
Okay, so like, yeah. So we like present our ideas to the judges, and they obviously, you know, choose the top 3, and then from there, you know, external sources would then, if they find the idea fascinating or they think that
Like
this
the
idea,
Dragon's Den kind of thing.
that type of thing, and they think it will like do good on the market and it will sell like hotcakes, you know, then they're gonna invest and the idea will actually become reality and that type of thing.
So you guys have won. Has anybody expressed interest in investing? Because Bonnie's got lots of money. I'm sure she'll give you money now.
Well, for me, there was a few people, but we'll take it from where we are right now.
Yeah.
And for you as well?
For me, like not as yet, but like I do feel if you know word gets out there.
Well, it's out there.
It's out there. Hello, South Africa.
From people with dollar bills.
I've got 2 little boys, and I want this device.
Yeah, I want both of those
I actually
devices.
encourage Reece even to partner with an NGO because often funding is the challenge around getting the product out there. So I did encourage him, you know, to work on a business plan, and those are all the things that they are taught in the 20-week program that I run, to run a business plan, to source funding, because they fund their own programs. They get paid out, they share money at the end of it. So that is the way that we are thinking. And then I try to, you know, wherever I network and stuff like that, if there's interest that is expressed, and then we try to take it from
protecting them, because a lot of big businesses will hear that and then try and steal their ideas. So just protecting their you know, property, their intellectual genius.
Incredible.
I'm so proud of you guys. I could just kiss you, hug you. I'm really, really well done. Really, really well done. We're so proud of you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
There's nothing smoother than the fresh, cool taste of Clover Tropica. Made with love by Clover.
This week, Tropical lovers stand a chance of winning incredible prizes from LG and Lewis. With Lewis having up to 36 months to pay, same-day delivery, and an optional extended 2-year guarantee, Lewis will really welcome our Tropica Smooth fans home. And don't forget the grand prize of 250,000 Rand cash and a Honda Amaze Comfort CVT. The prize will be fitted with genuine Honda seat covers, and all you have to do is buy a Tropica, follow the details on the pack, select your favorite celebrity, and stand a chance to win instant prizes, airtime, and so much more. T's and C's on tropica.co.za.
And follow the entry details on the bottle. Select your favorite celeb who you think you know best, and you could stand a chance to win thousands of instant daily prizes and a share of 1 million Rand. Buy a Tropica and enter. You can.
As we all know, matriculants are currently writing their final exams. So after the break, on today's Mommy Monday edition, we chat to Chantal Zinka, a teacher at Camps Bay High School, about effective studying methods. Plus, we make the ultimate toasted cheese sandwich. Yum.
There's nothing smoother than the fresh, cool taste of Clover Tropica. Made with love by Clover. Molkazan is a natural Swiss-made product which supports better digestive health. Do you struggle with digestive or tummy problems like cramping, bloating and constipation? We're looking for 3 ladies from Cape Town aged 30 to 50 who suffer from these problems or from mild IBS to take on a simple 21-day digestive health challenge that we will follow on Afternoon Express. Email your story to molkazanchallenge@cardova.tv to apply.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express now with matriculants across the country in the home stretch of their final year. Today on Mommy Monday, we're going to share a few techniques and tools to help matriculants increase student achievement by studying smarter instead of harder. This means making better use of study time hours. Welcome to the Loft. Lovely to have you with us, Chantal.
Thank you so much.
So, exams are around the corner, and obviously students all have different ways of learning or learn quicker or better, right? And I remember in school there were kids who would sit in class and listen and remember everything. And some people learned visually. So what are the ways that people can make sure they know what best works for them as students?
I think students are very diverse, especially in our school. Kempsburg High School is a very diverse school. Overall, matriculants have their own way of studying, and I feel you get visual learners where you actually do mind mapping and where you use a lot of colors, highlighting. Some people prefer using audio, voice recording, listening to themselves, even teaching themselves, being their own teacher. Some prefer to have even their own whiteboard, and then they teach themselves and others, which works quite well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great if schools start to actually help students find their best way of learning, because I find people only find that out when they're adults and maybe they're in tertiary and they're like, hey, I could have done this my whole school life.
Definitely,
yeah.
Definitely. We therefore actually also have a subject called life orientation, and they also teach them a lot of studies, techniques and skills, and we also have some counselors, so if they do get panicked or stressed out, then they could also go to the counselor. But I always advise children to be calm, collective, positive, study in advance, try not to procrastinate.
Yeah.
Because that's the main thing, you know, getting yourself in a setting where you feel calm as a student, being ready for the exams.
And does who you study with or where you study or the environment in which you're studying affect how much you're taking in? Like, does it really actually help to study in a group?
Yes and no. It depends what type of student you have. Some students can focus well. If you study in a group, I would suggest you study with students that are very similar to you, that are very much, say, a focused type of group, that focus on certain areas where they like to have visual learning, where they can talk about things. But I would definitely not put a student in there that get easily distracted, because groups can deviate.
Yeah, like if you're the rowdy crowd, do not study together.
Do not study together, no. Then it's all about socializing.
Absolutely, absolutely. How can parents support their children through the study period?
I can say definitely 100%. A parent support is like the ultimate thing for a child. Very, very important. There is a few things that they could do. Kids often forget about their own well-being, and they forget eating healthy, sleeping enough, doing exercise. I mean, they sit hours on end and just, you know, going for a walk, or maybe having their parent with them, motivating them, having support groups, having counselors at school, having teachers. That helps a lot. So yeah, I think parents play a very big role in motivating kids to do their utmost best and be there for them, be positive, motivate them, never let them down. If you see your child is getting a little bit anxious, don't let them worry too much.
Comfort them, yeah.
Comfort them,
know they're going to be okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, your students are very lucky to have you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Clover fresh milk is way better. Made with love by Clover.
Well, I remember when I was studying, the only thing I needed was comfort food. And the epitome of comfort food is in the form of our ultimate
Toasted cheese sandwich 2.0, thanks to Clover Cheese. Now, this sandwich promises to chase away all the Monday blues and bring the tastiest of rewards, and you do not want to miss out on this cheesy recipe. So, SMS the keyword Clover to 33650. SMS is R1.50 each, and free SMSs do not apply. My darling Sue-Ann, you are a danger in the kitchen today.
But you know what? I mean, I cook all the time. You know, I cook all the time. But sometimes at the end of the day, especially when I've been with clients, all I want is a toasted cheese sandwich. You know, kind of really simple to prepare, but so comforting, emotionally comforting, tummy comforting, kind of all the good stuff.
Exactly.
And Clover's made it really, really easy.
Amazing. You know, they say that all the greatest chefs, when they're not in their kitchen, when they're actually cooking for themselves, they're making the most basic things like macaroni cheese or toasted cheese
or toasted cheese. So these are the things that make me really happy. So we're going to share this one with you today.
Yes.
And we've got a couple of ingredients that are key to this. So first thing's caramelized onion.
Oh, girl.
So this is going to go on first, and we're going to be generous.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we were already there, so we might as well be.
It's the ultimate grilled cheese 2.0.
Cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
And then we've got some clover gouda, which I really like. You know, subtle flavor, slightly sweet. And you can see how creamy that already is.
And you cut them in thick
And then we've got
slices.
some beautiful pickles, which I also adore. So you're going sweet, you've got a little bit of spice, all to, I say, balance every time.
Yeah.
And this is really doing it, and we're going to actually just put them on.
What are those? Curried
So these are curried pickles. So you could use whichever curried pickles you'd like. You can just use a simple acha. We're going to be chatting about... Oh, there we go. I'm losing my pickles. It's better than losing... It's better than...
Don't get pickled.
Well, this is going to make you lose your mind when you eat it, so we might as well. And then we're also going to be using some tassas, which is a milder cheese.
Oh, wow.
And do you remember tassas? You know, you used to say, what have you got for lunch at school? There was a tassas sandwich. It actually is synonymous. And thanks to Clover, all easy packaging, so no having to awkwardly cut open our cheese. And gonna go in with nice thick slices of this as well. I mean, it's
this
so
is ultra cheesy.
Ultra. So we'll keep an eye on my butter. So we've got our butter. Just pop your pan on, get your butter going.
I mean, I don't even know how to deal with what you're making here. This is
no, but you will when I feed it to you. Yes, no, you will. I'm just going to quickly do some more. And then we're not done yet. So we're also going to, if you'd pop those on for me, Hannah, I just want to turn this down. We're going to be adding some sweet chili sauce as well.
Are you going to be frying these?
And I'm going to be frying them, and we're going to show you a little trick, because we're using ciabatta rolls. Obviously, if you don't have ciabatta rolls, you can use normal bread, but we actually need the texture of the ciabatta rolls to actually hold... Oh, whoa, one more ingredient.
Sorry.
I know. If you
We're getting excited.
Geez, like, just cook it already. So some sweet chili.
There you go.
And
so you're getting two different sides of chili, of sweetness. From the sweet chili and from the onion jam.
Onion, that we're going to pop straight into... I mean, I know it looks crazy, but like I said, the texture of these rolls are going to hold it all together.
I mean, we can immigrate to America with cooking like this.
And then I need that pot over there, hun, and I know I'm not going to cook anything else.
Okay.
But it is actually going to be our weight. So we're going to... It's going to look crazy.
I've seen it all.
And we're going to literally, like, push and let that go down. You could also cover this with foil and use a spatula, but we want to actually
really
let that sit and let it compress and let that cook off. Once it's brown on the one side, we flip it over, obviously. Let them sit in the pan. I would, once your butter's hot, turn it down a bit. Otherwise, it's just going to caramelize too quickly, and you want that cheese to melt. And then we're going to be serving this with the most beautiful coriander pesto. So coriander, we've got mint, we've got some fresh chili, some seasoning, drizzle some water, blitz that up, and that fresh, again, I say it every time, this fresh green bite to just counterbalance all the beautiful richness in that sandwich.
It's just a dipping
sauce. It's a dipping sauce. This, for me, is a meal. It really is a meal.
No, it's a total meal.
It took 2 seconds, and I think you'll smash it in 2 seconds too. Well, I will. I don't know if you would.
And you know what? You can keep this recipe, because in summer, you can use that little pesto mint thingy, and then in winter, a tomato soup.
Yes.
To dunk it in. How good am I?
You are getting better in the kitchen. I'm so impressed.
I'm an ideas person.
I know, no, you're good. I'll execute for you. You give me the idea.
Deal. What a team. Okay, so now have we turned it already?
I've just checked it. I just wanted to go a little bit browner, but we can see it's starting to smoke really nicely. So that's kind of what you are looking for. So I'm pretty excited, and I'll just use this. I just wanted to.
I'm cutting myself some cheese because it's, I mean, my staple.
Well, it's the cheesy day, so we're starting to get nice colour. So I'll flip at this point.
Oh, that's
because we want it to melt from the other side. And that caramelization of the butter is also just adding to the flavor of this. And we'll pop that back on. I know it looks crazy, but it really does work.
Amazing. And this makes me excited.
It's as simple. If you don't want to do this in the pan, of course, South Africa, braai brokies, you can also squash in between a grid if you've got the fire going. So have this as a little like pre-snack before, because I mean, why not? Absolutely, why not? So I think on a fire, double, yummy.
No, it's happening. That is epic. So remember to SMS the keyword Clover to 33650 to get this recipe sent directly to your device. SMSs are R1.50 each, and free SMSs do not apply. And if you need to see how this epic grilled cheese 2.0 is done, watch this space.
Made with love by Clover.
With Sue-Ann in the kitchen, I feel like Oliver. Please, Sue-Ann, can I have some more? Now, after the break, we get to share all this amazing food with our guests.
This is your chance to win the home you've always dreamed of. Enter the Win a Home competition by voting for your favorite design duo on privateproperty.co.za and stand a chance of winning a fully decorated apartment at Paardenvlei Lifestyle Estate, developed by Baldwin Properties, worth over 3 million rand. Plus, you'll automatically be entered into the weekly draw, where this coming Thursday night, you could walk away with a Samsung 55-inch Series 6 QLED TV with Infinity Design, 4K gaming, SmartThings app connection, and an ultra-high-definition plus picture. And if that's not enough, Capitec clients stand a chance to win a further 5,000 rand in cash. Competition details plus T's and C's can be found on the Private Property website. Win a Home every Thursday evening at 7:30 on SABC3. The stage is yours.
Moving out? Need more room? Scaling down? Private property is a great place to start your search. With thousands of new properties from South Africa's top real estate agents, banks, developers and homeowners. It's the easiest way to find your next home. Search for a home on any device, anytime, anywhere. Search privateproperty.co.za.
Enter the Win a Home competition on privateproperty.co.za and stand a chance to win a brand new, fully decorated apartment at Parterflay Lifestyle Estate, developed by Baldwin Properties, worth over 3 million rand.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. As discussed earlier, we've just been talking about strokes and the causes of strokes and some preventative measures. Thank you so much for all your Facebook messages and sharing your heartfelt stories with us. We're back on the couch.
So, what exactly causes a stroke?
So essentially, a stroke is when there's an interruption in the blood supply to a part of your brain, like we mentioned earlier, and that's usually due to obstruction of the blood vessel, typically caused by a blood clot, or it can be caused by bleeding in the brain itself.
Okay.
That's sure. And what are some of the very scary? And what are some of the preventative measures a person can take when before and after?
So while you're having the stroke, the only measure that you can take is to get yourself to a hospital as quickly as possible. Okay. Ideally, if you're aware of stroke units in your area, that would be the best place to go, because you've got the biggest chance to get the clot-busting medication that we spoke about, or even that intervention to remove the clot. But if you're not sure, get yourself to the closest emergency unit as quickly as possible, because with the brain, time is of the essence. You've got minutes to 3 hours.
But by you saying that, I mean, how long can a stroke... Well, you said minutes to a few hours. Yes. But, I mean, will you know immediately when it's happening?
You should know immediately. So it's sudden and it's painless, the onset. You suddenly can't move your arm, or you can't move your leg, or you can't speak properly, or your face hangs. It's literally like a lightning bolt.
I mean, I know in some cases, I know of people who've had strokes and it's affected their brain function. They've almost been brain damaged. Can one get back the full capacity and use of their brain through recovery, or do some people kind of just are affected forever?
So it depends. So essentially, at the moment, there's about 80 million stroke survivors worldwide, and about 50 million of them have some form of a disability. And the degree of the disability that you're left with, it depends. It depends on the size of the stroke. It depends on the rehabilitation that you went through. It depends on what was the treatment that you actually underwent in terms of helping with the stroke. So there's a lot of factors that can actually influence it. Some people, especially children, tend to recover much better than adults, and then older people perhaps a little bit less than the rest of than the younger counterparts.
Sure.
You know, we're mentioning the statistics of how many people have a stroke like a day in South Africa. Yes. It's just so radically high. Are the only ways to bring those stats down just lifestyle choices?
So lifestyle choices and having regular checkups. So having your blood pressure checked, having your sugar checked, having your cholesterol checked, and then if necessary treatment. And then there are ways to decrease your risk of having a stroke as well. So there's a medication called a statin, which is a cholesterol lowering medication. And if you use that,
if you've got high cholesterol.
That's if you've got high cholesterol. It actually, regardless of what your cholesterol is, it will reduce your risk of having a stroke by about 20%. Wow. But then if your risk is very low to begin with, it doesn't make sense to take the medication, whereas if your cholesterol is elevated and your risk is high to begin with, taking the medication definitely makes sense.
Do eggs really cause high cholesterol? I have to know, because some people say yes and some people say no.
Yeah. It's more about what you take in your diet. So if you're going to have 6 eggs a day, then probably your cholesterol will be elevated. So moderation is more important than one specific food group.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I think that's been very informative.
Yeah.
The answer is always the same. Just live a healthy lifestyle and make healthier choices all the time and early on. Young people always think they have many years to come.
Yeah, that's so true.
Drink water, exercise.
Yes, and it's something that's so important, because I know Salama, she also suffered a stroke when she was 30.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Yes.
We'll be back again tomorrow. We can't see you then. And of course, our actress and TV presenter, Tana Tibete, is going to be in the loft. We love her so much. Yeah. Until then, good night.
Good night.
Afternoon Express. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.